What I thought I would do in this video is try and answer a question I've been asked quite a lot since I got the Hayter 41 Pro, and that question is, how good is it in the wet? Now I've said in previous videos I've not tried to use it with really long wet grass. This lawn here is about as long and as wet as I've tried to use it on, and it copes very well. I haven't had trouble with it. As I said in the previous video, I haven't ever tried to cut foot-long grass with it, but I do get asked the question a lot, you know, what's the best mower for mowing wet conditions? In all honesty, I'm not the best person to ask. Over the last few years, the only types of mowers I've used have been the Hondas and the Hayter that I have now. I've never ever really put any of these mowers through real long sort of thick wet grass. If it's that wet and that thick, I'll probably leave it till it's a little bit drier. So I just thought I'd mention in this video how well the Hayter has been managing for me in these damp conditions. This is a fairly new property, and I've been coming here since probably the middle of spring. Every single time I come to this place, the grass grows like mad, and it is always wet. Every time I come here it's wet. Even if it's a nice sunny day, the garden doesn't seem to get into the sunlight. There's a lot of trees around, and it will always have like a heavy dew on it or something like that. So it has given the Hayter a good test. I always use the Hayter on this job. And I say, apart from a little bit of clogging around the chute, there isn't ever too much. It never struggles too much. You know, I get to the end of the couple of rows and I empty the bag, always drag it out. So I've never had too much trouble with it. This place, I do end up double cutting. I don't do that with every place I go to, but because this is such a small little lawn, I don't mind going over it twice. I will probably cut it at one level first time off, and then maybe lower it one more time just for the second time. The customer here doesn't like it getting too low. She does like it to have a nice, a bit of a fuller look, so I never ever sort of cut it far, you know, too low. I think with the Hayter settings, I think the lowest I've cut it is on number 4, which really isn't that low. So during and after filming this video, got very wet. I was quite pleased the way the lawn turned out considering how wet it got. So I had to get to the van, coffee and biscuits for the next job. I also had to go home and get myself changed because I got so blooming wet. Bit of a different feel to the next job. I don't normally cut the lawn at this place, but the customers were away and had asked me to run over the lawn for when they get back. It's obviously got to that time of year where the fruits will drop in, apples, whatever it be. At this job, not too bad, there's never that many, so I don't mind going around just picking these ones up. If there were an orchard full, I wouldn't be overly keen to wander around and pick all the apples up before I was to mow, but this little job, not a trouble. Now this may be the very last time you see me using this strimmer on video. If you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, come and find me on UK Lawn Care on Instagram. But if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I had a bit of strimmer trouble. I won't go into it too much in this video, I'll do another video on it. But this strimmer has been causing me a little bit of hassle for quite a long time now. And I've been putting off and off for the last couple of years about buying a new strimmer. So this week I pulled the cord off, the starting cord off of this strimmer, and as I was taking one of my mowers in to be repaired, I decided I would drop the strimmer to my repair guy and just let him have a little look at it. Now while the strimmer was at the repair guy's, I decided to bite the bullet and just go and I'm going to buy myself a new strimmer. So I went and brought the FS70 RC. Now in the meantime, while I got back to the repair shop, The repair guy pulled my strimmer to bits. He said once he'd taken one piece off, he realised that something else needed to be fixed. He said it was going to start costing me quite a lot of money to be repaired. He said, go and buy yourself a new strimmer if I was you. And I said, well, I actually already have got one. So I have got myself the Steel FS70 RC, and I only started using it today, so I can't really go into it too much. But really, the strimmer that I use in this video, rest in peace, because you literally are in pieces. It is all over the place at the minute. I've not really decided what I'm going to do with it yet, but yeah, it's not worth. I don't think it's worth trying to salvage it. I've got my money's worth out of it, and at the end of the day, I have for the last couple of years put off buying a new strimmer, and now I've made the leap, and yeah, so new strimmer in the next video. Gardening work-wise at the minute for me definitely has a little bit of a different feel to it at the minute. We're really autumn now. Everything is cooling right down. The temperature-wise in the mornings is very, very chilly, and you know, the darker evenings are starting to set in. I've not had anybody let me go yet. You know, normally you get to October time and you have a couple of customers that if you just cut the grass for them, they may turn around to you and say, well, we'll see you in the spring. I've had a couple of customers maybe mention about when would I finish, and I know that people might start asking me on here, you know, what do I do during the winter time. I basically continue gardening. I would never ever call it a day on anybody's job. It's always up to the people I work for to say, look, thanks a lot, and maybe, you know, hopefully see you next year. But I have a lot of big properties I go to, and I can always find something to do. You know, there's always some hedges to cut or something to tidy up. But it definitely getting to that time of year now where everything that's not looking nice and green in this video here will all of a sudden start to look a little bit brown, start to go over. Always a sad time of year. You know, we're into September now. Be very nearly October soon, and yeah, we'll just a different feel to things. So the next few months for me are going to be quite strenuous, sort of physically. This is quite a difficult time of year. All the leaf clear ups that are coming up. It is now going to be a big push from now till Christmas, really. You know, when the leaves start to come down. Yeah, it's that final push of the year. So all that to look forward to, and as I say, next video you will get to see my new strimmer in action. Anyway guys, thanks ever so much for watching. Take care, be good, and I'll see you next time.